Page 101. The warrior of light, once he has learned how to use a sword, discovers that his equipment is still incomplete. He needs armor. He sets off in search of this armor, and he listens to the advice of various salesmen. Use the breastplate of solitude, says one. Use the shield of cynicism, says another. The best armor is not to get involved in anything, says a third. The warrior, however, ignores them. He calmly goes to his sacred place and puts on the indestructible cloak of faith. Faith parries all blows. Faith transforms poison into crystalline water. Page 102. I always believe everything anyone tells me, and I'm always disappointed, his companions say. It's important to trust people. A warrior of light is not afraid of disappointments because he knows the power of his sword and the strength of his love. However, he imposes certain limits. It is one thing to accept God's signs and to know that the angels use the mouths of other people to give us advice. It is quite another to be incapable of making decisions and to always be looking forward for ways of letting others tell us what we should do. A warrior trusts other people because first and foremost, he trusts himself. Page 103. The warrior of light views life with tenderness and determination. He stands before a mystery whose solution he will one day find. Every so often he says to himself, "This life is absolutely insane." He is right. In surrendering to the miracle of the everyday, he notices that he cannot always foresee the consequences of his actions. Sometimes he acts without even knowing that he is doing so. He saves someone without even knowing he is saving them. He suffers without even knowing why he is sad. Yes, life is insane, but the great wisdom of the warrior lies in choosing his insanity wisely. Page 104. The warrior of light studies the two columns on either side of the door he is trying to open. One is called fear, and the other is called desire. The warrior looks at the column of fear, and on it is written, "You are entering a dangerous, unfamiliar world where everything you have learned up until now will prove useless." The warrior looks at the column of desire, and on it is written, "You are about to leave a familiar world wherein are stored all the things you ever wanted and for which you struggled long and hard." The warrior smiles because nothing frightens him and nothing holds him. With the confidence of one who knows what he wants, he opens the door. Page 105. A warrior of light practices a powerful exercise for inner growth. He pays attention to the things he does automatically, such as breathing, blinking, or noticing the things around him. He does this when he feels confused, and in this way he frees himself from tensions and allows his intuition to work more freely without interference from his fears and desires. Certain problems that appeared to be insoluble are resolved. Certain sorrows from which he thought he would never recover vanish naturally. He uses this technique whenever he is faced with a difficult situation. Page 106. The warrior of light hears comments like, There are certain things I'd rather not talk about because people are so envious. When he hears this, the warrior laughs. Envy cannot harm you if you don't let it. Envy is part of life and everyone should learn to deal with it. However, he rarely discusses his plans, and sometimes people believe this is because he is afraid of envy. But he knows that whenever he talks about a dream, he uses a little bit of the energy from that dream in order to do so. And by talking, he runs the risk of spending all the energy he needs to put the dream into action. A warrior of light knows the power of words. Page 107. The warrior of light knows the value of persistence and of courage. Often during combat, he receives blows that he was not expecting, and he realizes that during the war, his enemy is bound to win some of the battles. When this happens, he weeps bitter tears and rests in order to recover his energies a little, but he immediately resumes his battle for his dreams. The longer he remains away, the more likely he is to feel weak, fearful, and intimidated. When a horseman falls off his horse, if he does not remount immediately, he will never have the courage to do so again. Page 108. A warrior knows when a battle is worth fighting. He bases his decisions on inspiration and faith. He nevertheless meets people who ask him to fight battles that are not his own, on battlefields that he does not know or which do not interest him. They want to involve the warrior of light in contests that are important to them, but not to him. Often these are people close to the warrior of light, people who love him and trust in his strength, and who want him in some way to ease their anxieties. At such moments, he smiles and makes it clear to them that he loves them, but he does not take up the challenge. A true warrior of light always chooses his own battlefield. Page 109. The warrior of light knows how to lose. He does not treat defeat as if it were a matter of indifference to him, saying things like, "Oh, it doesn't matter," or "To be honest, I didn't really want it that much." He accepts defeat as defeat and does not try to make a victory out of it. Painful wounds, the indifference of friends, the loneliness of losing, all leave a bitter taste. But at these times he says to himself, "I fought for something and did not succeed. I lost the first battle." These words give him renewed strength. He knows that no one wins all the time, and he knows how to distinguish his successes from his failures. Page 110. When somebody wants something, the whole universe conspires in their favor. The warrior of light knows this. For this reason, he takes great care with his thoughts. Hidden beneath a whole series of good intentions lie feelings that no one dares confess to him. Vengeance, self-destruction, guilt, fear of winning, a macabre joy at other people's tragedies. The universe does not judge. It conspires in favor of what we want. That is why the warrior has the courage to look in the dark places of his soul in order to ensure that he is not asking for the wrong things, and he is always very careful about what he thinks.